So what are we even doing here? This is Spider-Man number 27. This is the first of a kind of a two-part story. Something about a gun. This is from 1992. I had not this very copy, but I had this comic book because I read Spider-Man when I was a kid. Look what we got. Spider-Man looks like he's being shot at a bunch. Destined to be the most talked about Spider Saga of the year. So, maybe it's about something that's kind of heavy. We'll see. The best part about these is these old ads that I remember from being a kid. This one's about some kind of football game. What do we got? Here's like a dedication. The writer's saying, look, these guys, thank you for telling me what I needed to know about some guns to write this book. But if I make any mistakes, it's not their fault. Magnified on a movie screen, it is an isolated, powerful image. Confident hand draw, flashy twirl, takes forever to master. See the 14-round ammo clip inserted into the tough plastic fiber grip. Prime a bullet into the chamber. Target caught in the matte black gun sight. Catch the enticing curve of the trigger. Flame and smoke and sound of thunder, spurts of blood, the day is saved. Problem solver. There's something about a gun. Problems never seem to end. If it isn't one thing, it's another. Where has he heard that aphorism before? Where hasn't he heard that aphorism before? Peter Parker clings effortlessly to the water tower presiding over the high noon midtown West Side city scene. He has an affectionate feeling for these weathered structures, evoking imagined images of an older Manhattan while serving it in the present day. Average New Yorker only sees these beauties occasionally and from a distance. A friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and shadowy old water towers go together like Kermit the Frog and lily pads. Well, maybe more like Bart Simpson and blackboards. Hanging around these towers like this, why, it's almost a home away from home. And how about that? For a few seconds, there's not a single never-ending problem was in my head. Not bad. And the added plus is a unique view of the city. Manhattan's movers and shakers better not get it in their numbskulls to modernize these mainstays. Sheesh, they had their way. They'd strip the city of all its mood and mystery and exotic flavor. Guess I better admit it. I love these hulking water towers. And I don't even know how they work. But there's no better place for a stakeout, especially a long stakeout. Whoops. Here comes the man of the hour. That can't be anybody but Nutcase Walker. Greg Kramer described him to a T. A walking, talking insane asylum, and proud of it. Let's see. Where's Nutcase's layout man? Ah, there we are. Skull and Bones Adams. Who could miss him? He'll play lookout at one corner, while at the other, yes, there we are, the impeccably dressed Rags, making believe he's holding up a lamppost. I think he's found his life's work. Don't see Greg Kramer yet. Guess his lunch break hasn't let out yet. Hard to believe Greg's no more than 12 years old and already selling crack to kids his own age. Old Nutcase, his supplier, and also sweetheart of a gun dealer to boot, has got it figured out. If Greg gets busted for dealing, authorities can't do bupkis to somebody underage. And Greg's not going to turn Nutcase over because he thinks the man is cool. Of course, Nutcase isn't figuring on Greg's big mouth. If Greg hadn't been bragging in that deli that was robbing me blind for an overpriced pastrami sandwich, I'd never have heard about this gun deal going down. But I heard Greg say it more than once, how he was buying a piece from his pal Nutcase. $150 street value, buy it honest, cost you $600, his exact words. We got another old advertisement. You know, you could buy these comic books mail order. Cool. Greg's a big business wheel now. Never know when some creep might try to cross him and he'll need a gun to back his play. Kind of talk that'd take my attention off my wall crawlers eat and run special. Make me check it out. 12 years old. Oh man. I almost wish I was listening to some die-hard supervillain sneering about how he was going to stuff me full of my own webbing. At least then if you stop them from whatever nutso plan they've got in mind, you can feel like you've won something. Situation like this just seems like it'll go on and on. But you've got to try, or it'll never get better, only worse. As far as Elmo Oliver is concerned, Nutcase Walker might as well be a ghost. He looks right through the man. He is trying to perfect his RoboCop walk, which once had made some adult ask him if he had a hernia. He is lost in 12-year-old fears and bravado that have nothing to do with the adult aliens loitering about. Fleetingly notices the coat. The coat's not too shabby. Hey kid, come out of the Twilight Zone. Think you own the road? My prime directive is to protect the innocent. You are not an innocent. Your move, creep. I haven't got time to mess with you, twerp. Wait till you have to earn a living. Then we'll see what a smart mouth you are. More comics for sale. Remember this? And then Elmo is inside one of the public schools in Manhattan. Better not pretend to be RoboCop in this safe haven. Pretend can get you in deep trouble real quick here. School officials on bullhorns, summoning prisoners into lineups. Anyone not in their place with their mouths zipped tight will answer to me. Got that, boys and girls? A place to learn the 3 R's. Reading, writing, and arithmetic. Many learn other things quicker. Words not used in comic books. The hard sell from friends to try just a little smidgen of crack. You don't even know what you're saying no to. Better say no again and again, because they don't ask once or twice, but come at you every day. Who are you going to call for help? School officials? You know what they're like. Didn't you see them on the 6 o'clock news? They did this corrupt thing, that corrupt thing. They're going to get sent away. Hey, Elmo, what you doing? You don't want to buy no lunch today. Yeah, all they sellin' today is booger sandwiches. We heard you like to pick your own nose, and you don't need no bread for that. Come on, Cavendish, leave me alone. I'm not bothering you. You bother me, Elmo. What kind of name's Elmo? Come on, Elmo, hurry it up. Empty your pockets. Let's see what you got on you. Extracurriculum, toughing it out in wire-meshed stairwells. Best not to climb some of these steps alone. Sometimes you're not given a choice. My prime directive says a crime is in progress. It can be a long way between floors. You wake up this morning wanting to die, Elmo? You gotta be a moron or something. You think you can take all of us on? What you got for money, Elmo? Let me go. Hey, Cavendish, Elmo's got a big stash today. $2 whole. It's our lucky day. Like we hit the lotto, huh? See you later, barf breath. Oh, Elmo's so sad. More comic books for sale. The lunch hour is drawing to a close. From all directions, students converge at the entrance to the school. From above, they look like bantering lemmings drawn to the dark portal into the building. There he is, Greg Kramer, strutting his stuff. Face still humorless, sunglass-hidden eyes, denying access within the carefully postured physical attitude. What do you say, little man? I say, don't call me little man. You sure are stupid. You start trying to tell Nutcase what to do. You'll find your face a piece of dog meat on the side of this wall. Got it? Yeah. I always listen to you, Nutcase. You know that about me. I listen good. So, you got the piece or what? I told you I'd have it, didn't I? You just now told me you listen good, and here you can't remember what I said. I'm only selling this to you 'cause you've been dealing good. I got a soft heart for kids, but don't mess up with this thing. This ain't no toy. You listening to what I say, little man? Looks like Nutcase really has the gun on him. If I weren't seeing it, I'm not sure I'd believe they'd make the exchange in broad daylight. Fact is, if I didn't know it was going down, the whole transaction would be real easy to miss. Still and all, Nutcase is pretty brazen. Like he's got it in his head, no one can touch him. Better make this quick and fast. I don't want any of these kids to get hurt. Huh? Hey, Nutcase, we got company. Uh-oh. I'm spotted before my big entrance. Rags couldn't just flip the die and catch it. He'd have to keep his eyes on it. And naturally, Rags would have to have a gun stashed in his rags. The street may be crowded, but all anyone sees is a quick moment that doesn't seem too important. It will be seconds before anyone realizes what the sound they hear portends. There's a gun in their close proximity. A gun is a tool, Marion. No better or no worse than any other tool, an axe or shovel or anything. A gun is good or as bad as the man using it. Hey, who you calling Marion? Didn't any of you guys ever see Shane? His spider sense screams in every nerve ending. Screams with the warning of death, quick and functional. What's a Shane, wall crawler? Sheesh, the problem with you guys, you have no sense of film history. Patrolman Enrico Ramirez became a cop because he really believed there were bad guys. Bad guys could come in any nationality or religious persuasion. Coming through, out of my way. They could look like grim-lipped punks or frantic-eyed dopers or blandly smiling next-door neighbors. Out of my way, watch out! Hey! But bad guys existed just as sure as greed. And he did not discriminate amongst bad guys, whether in t-shirts or tuxes or police uniforms. However dressed, he recognized them whatever guise they came in. Patrolman Enrico Ramirez had seen bad guys all his life. It just seemed there were more of them these days, and their acts more callous, and that the good guys were losing ground, some forced back or others giving up. He hoped he was wrong about that, but he didn't think he was. Get down out of my line of fire. The shooter is a layoff man, a spotter for some deal that's gone bad. This looks like some kind of subscription deal for getting music videos on VHS. Wow. Whatever. Oliver, didn't you hear the last recess bell? Don't you ignore me, Elmo Oliver. Snake tongue coming in at you, Elmo, zapping in off your right wing. Give 'em your Top Gun maneuver. Kids these days, zombies during class, go bananas out. Tune you right out. Never catch a hot dog like you, Top Gun. No one messes with Nutcase. No, I'm not in my right mind. Somebody ticks me off, I go mental. You chose the right name. You certainly won't find me arguing that you fit the requirements for any asylum as certifiable. Guys like you give the National Rifle Association collective heartburn, and I'll bet you don't even care. Hurts their case against selling automatic weapons to out-in-the-ozone would-be Rambos. When someone shows a picture of a wacko like you petting his pet Uzi, I wouldn't doubt it even makes Mr. Uzi a little green at the gills. What do you think? Or do you think at all, I mean? Gonna get that Cavendish. Yeah, sure you are. I'm really gonna. With all those zit faces around him. Even if he has hundreds of zit faces with him. The pedestrians have panicky eyes that dart from person to person to parked cars to buildings, but see only danger. There is death facing them here and now. Get in between the parked cars or lie flat. And they have read about death in this city in the daily newspapers, but for most of them, they have seldom witnessed or experienced any violence. But now, they are caught in a world of guns firing, of guns wounding, crippling, maybe killing. And maybe they won't read any more shock-to-sell headlines. Maybe their deaths will be summed up in 2 to 4 pithy words of bloody commerciality. And others will read and shake their heads and will still be alive to wonder what the world's coming to. Where are you, you freak? Right here, bullseye. See this assault weapon? Blow your scrawny butt away. With this, you can't miss. Funny, I could have sworn you just did. The bad guys don't have to worry where they shoot. Don't need to sight down this baby. Bullets will burp out as long as the trigger is held down or the clip runs out. If the gunners have enough clips with them and are fast reloaders, they're capable of triggering 1,000 rounds in 1 minute. Another massacre to sadden the heart. He has 6 semi-jacketed hollow-point bullets. If he is alive when this melee is finished, he will have to account in writing for every round fired. Bad guys don't have to report where 1,000 bullets hit, or what they were aiming at with each one. I don't think you could hit Roseanne Arnold at 4 paces. This ain't no game. You stick your nose in my business, you're dead, sucker. I wouldn't play games with you. Don't know what I'd catch. Having a little technical difficulty? He hopes he doesn't run out of bullets. Every cop in Manhattan knows the story of the policeman who was reloading his 6-shot service pistol, and the bad guys counted 6, came up, and squeezed the triggers of their automatics. And their weapons made their little sputter so inconsequential, and the policeman's blood was like a Rorschach smear on dirty concrete. Anybody remember this? Oh. Everybody inside. Did you see Spidey? I heard shots. Heard somebody's face got blown off. Did you see it? Lost my lunch. Gross. How's the nose? You know how it is. What do you think? Somebody busts every bone in your nose. It hurts, all right? Don't get mad at me. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at Cavendish. He thinks he's so tough. One day, you'll see. I'm going to mash him into gizzard pulp. Swap, swap, swap. Your history, Cavendish. I don't never miss. My face. Look what you done to my face, spider freak. Nutcase's face is burning. Flesh, very hot. Something liquid and warm rushing over the hot areas. Something liquid that is cooling. I swear you don't get out of my way. I'll do worse to this little punk. Nutcase, what are you saying? We're tight, ain't we? His blood flowing from shrapnel wounds. Enrico Ramirez has a daughter and a son. Right about now, they're going to religious instruction. They have religious instruction every Wednesday afternoon. He wonders if he'll ever see them again. 3 bullets hit him, though they slam into him so fast it feels like only 1. There's blood pouring down his arm, gathering under his armpit. Okay, Nutcase, chill out, okay? I'll slice him, I swear. No offense, but you get a little too wired for this line of work. Sure you didn't forget to say no to some of that stuff that makes your brain cells turn into fried eggs? Hey, I warned you, get this gunk off of me before I... In a hurry? Don't worry about a thing. Leave the driving to them. They'll get you where you're going or deposit you at the next bus stop. Can't be more than a block or 2 away. He can see the perp running toward him. Wants to make sure of the kill. Place the gun up against his temple. He will not see his son or daughter or wife Suzette smile ever again. Too bad I had to stop and grab Nutcase. Couldn't let that bus really mess him up. There were lots of gunshots down at the corner and a whole lot more screaming. Better hightail it over there fast and see what Skull and Bones has been up to. Lift the gun. Don't let the bad guys win. We can't let the bad guys win. We have to keep it clear who the bad guys are. And we cannot become confused because the bad guys count on that. And then the smiles are lost in blood and agony. I'm almost afraid to see. I'm gonna... Whoa! Crazy kid, you could have been killed. Leave that gun alone. It's not a toy. Did you hear somebody say something? My ears can select any sound and separate it from other noise. I heard nothing. Me either. Gotta get back to the gun. It's nothing to be left lying around. Hope that kid let go of the gun like it was a snake about to bite. I knew there wasn't time to stop. The screams and moaning made it too imperative to ignore. But I didn't think it would be this bad. You shot my kneecap, cop. You made me a crip. I'm gonna burn ya. Huh? What was that noise? If that's a burp, you should say, "Excuse me." I guess you're all choked up. You're real close to a new tattoo. Breathe the wrong way, why don't ya? You okay? No. But thanks to you, I'm not splattered over that gutter. I kept praying another cop would get on the scene before it was over. I'm settling for you. What was going down? A gun deal. The leader's up the way. I better hustle back to the school. I'm afraid there was some kid that might have picked up the gun that was being sold. It's not the kind of thing that should be left lying around. Hey, you the one causing all this gridlock? Gone. The gun and the kid. I don't see that kid anywhere around. I don't even need my spider sense to give me a bad feeling this isn't over yet. Did you see what happened? Spidey. Saw it from the window. Cops and gun. Blood. Look at all the blood. We're running all over the place screaming. Really took care of it. Never seen more gore. Just swung off. Look, Cavendish. Ready or not, here I come. Step up into the shooting gallery. Won't hear any weak-kneed writers whining about too many guns in this sanctuary. Shoot those suckers on sight. Ha! The smoke from spent rounds, a haze in the air. It stays in your lungs, a not unpleasant taste on the back of your tongue. Long after the range is dark and empty, and the last targets reeled in and shot groupings noted, aim at the target or targets. Rough-edged gun butt snug in the palm of the hand, held like joined lovers swearing eternal allegiance. The gun sways, leading the target, as mesmerizing as a cobra. Maybe it will strike. Maybe it won't. Maybe the gun will discharge. Maybe it will be lowered unfired. No one can know for sure. The only thing certain is the fascination and fear and respect the weapon commands. Pachoo, pachoo, pachoo. The target's eyes never leave the weapon. Shell casings bounce off your face, slight distraction. You get used to it. Elmo Oliver sees Cavendish and his gang with bullet-torn paper holes. The mocking faces have lost their smirks. Their voices plead rather than threaten. Pleas don't dissuade him, just as his pleas have never stopped them from administering a bloody nose or a kick in the ribs. This is it, Cavendish. I'm gunning for you now.